Hey allemaal, hoe gaat het met iedereen? Ik ben Tessa en ik ben jonge mantelzorgercoach bij Markant. Dit is een shout-out naar alle jongeren. Lukt het allemaal nog? We zitten nu in zo'n gekke situatie en we moeten zoveel mogelijk thuis blijven. Je gaat waarschijnlijk niet meer naar school omdat je je lessen thuis volgt en je ziet je vrienden een stuk minder. En misschien zorg je ook nog eens een keer voor iemand in het gezin. Een vader, moeder, broer of zus die wat extra aandacht nodig heeft. Nu je vaker binnen zit, ben je misschien wel weer bezig met meer zorgen. En dat kan soms best lastig zijn. Zit je met vragen hierover of wil je je verhaal kwijt bij iemand die je begrijpt? Laat het me weten. Je kan me bellen of whatsappen met vragen of gewoon omdat je je verhaal kwijt wil. Want praten lucht vaak op. Oh, en nog een tip. Kijk op onze En Jij website, want we hebben een gratis e-learning voor jonge mantelzorgers. Misschien is het wel wat voor jou. Ik sta voor je klaar, dus bel of whatsapp me snel als ik je ergens mee kan helpen. En wie weet, tot binnenkort. Doei!
Well, Mantelzorger, at this period in time of the coronavirus epidemic, our kids are now home. They are not going to school. They are not going on loggia. It's very heavy and very difficult for us as Mantelzorgers. How do you explain to a child with special needs about this situation?
Hello everyone, I'm Wieke Hengeveld from Markant, Center of Mantelzorg in Amsterdam. I understood that there are some questions regarding corona, staying at home with your kids with special needs, hygiene and how to deal with this. I can understand that there are many questions. It is a very difficult time for all of us. In this video, I'm gonna try to answer some of the questions. If after the video you still have questions, if you have worries or you just want to share your story, you can always call us. You are not alone. On Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. and on Thursdays from 10 to 11 in the morning, I'll be there to answer your questions. Call me. Question 1. Most of our kids are very upset at home. Explaining the situation to them is very difficult. Do you have any tips on how to handle this? I can understand it's very difficult to explain the situation to your kids with special needs. Some of them also don't understand verbal language, can't read, can't write. So how do you do it? Use the easiest language you can find. Explain that you can't go because the school is not open. You can also look at the website steffi.nl. This is a website from the government where in very easy language with pictures is explained what corona is, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Try to keep a rhythm at home, the same rhythm as daycare or school. Ask daycare or school what their daily routine is. The more you keep in the same rhythm, the more the children will be relaxed. But most of all, don't be too hard on yourself. It is a difficult and new situation for everybody. If you don't succeed one day, Try again next day. Question 2. Most of the parents would like to take their children outside because it helps them to keep them calm. Is it safe for them to go outside? It's as safe to go outside as it is for everybody else, as long as you take notice of the rules of the government, like staying apart from 1.5 meters, except if you're in the same family, washing your hands when you go in and outside, coughing in your elbow, and don't go outside if you sneeze, sniff, have a sore throat, a bit of fever, or any other symptoms. If you have any of these symptoms, you can't go outside. If you are coughing or have fever, then your family members are also not allowed to go outside. You can go outside again if you're free of symptoms for 24 hours. If you don't have any symptoms, you can go outside. Just go for a walk around the corner, play a bit in a playground, go through a park, and take a deep breath of the nice air outside. It is good for your mental health as well as your child's. Question 3. Most parents are very worried if the huisarts or the GP asks them to bring the child to the hospital because it's sick. We don't know whether the hospitals are safe, and we're afraid the kids will be detained and we would not be allowed to visit them. Do you have any information on that? First of all, trust your GP. If your GP says your child needs to go to hospital, it's probably needed. Hospitals are taking extra measures to make sure people who don't have corona don't get infected by corona. People without corona can also be visited by their family members. The main concern of doctors at this moment is that people keep on walking with their medical problems without going to hospital or GP, and that these problems will get worse and need a far bigger treatment when people are willing to go to the hospital again. So please trust your GP, discuss your worries, and discuss what you should and shouldn't do. Question 4. Is there any help for special cases where the kids can't be handled anymore, or when it's unbearable at home? What can we do? Is there help? If you cannot handle it anymore, and if it's unbearable, of course there's help. You are not alone. Contact daycare, school, or OKT if you're known with this organization, and they will look with you in the situation what's best for you and your child. If you have any questions, you can also call us, but we will probably refer you to these organizations. Question 5. The brothers and sisters of our kids are still going outside or going to work. Should we be worried that they take the virus home, and what should we do to prevent them from doing this? I can understand this is worrying, but as long as they don't have symptoms, they can also not infect others. If they have to go to work because they're in a vital occupation, let them go to work, or discuss it with the employer if your child is really vulnerable and has many physical vulnerabilities next to the mental disability or special needs. Hygiene rules are the most important, so washing hands regularly if you go in and outside, keep the distance from other people, And don't go outside if you have any symptoms. That way you can also prevent the infection to get into your house. If one person in the house has symptoms, then try to keep distance from this person as well, and also try to isolate this person in one room so you can't infect each other. Don't use the same towels, wash your hands regularly, don't use the same cutlery or the same plates, and make sure that you only get in contact with this person again, like physically or close by, when the symptoms are gone for 24 hours. Is the person really ill? Always call a doctor. Don't go to the doctor, but call the doctor first. Question 6. Some of the children are already living outside of the parents' house. The parents can't visit them anymore at this moment. They can be very confused about why mama or papa is not visiting anymore. Do you have any tips for us? It is very sad that you cannot visit your children. It's sad for you and it's sad for the children. Try calling via video. Also, if a child is not verbally able to speak, maybe a video call will help. Ask the professionals at the house how they are dealing with it and how you can come into contact with your child. Make drawings with the kids that are still at home for their brother and sisters. Call, send cards. That's the most you can do. It is very sad, but we have to make it the best we can at this moment. Keeping in contact is the best way to go. Question 7. Many Mantelzorgers are very stressed, and when we get any information on health of our kids, we get into panic. Do you have any tips on how to calm down? It is a very stressful time. There are some tips on how to handle this situation. Keep a rhythm in the day. Make sure you eat at certain times, like in the morning, breakfast, lunch for around noon, and dinner in the evening. Eat something in between. Make sure you have activities to do, so maybe go around the corner outside in the morning, and in the afternoon you do something creative. Moving is very important. Exercise. You can also find videos on YouTube or exercise in the home by yourself. Go for a walk outside is also good exercise. Don't read news all day. Only read news from acknowledged sources that are reliable. Next to that, limit the time you're reading the news. So maybe, let's say, do a half an hour a day that you read the news of this day, because otherwise you'll be haunted by the news all day, and this will make you stressed. Acknowledge your fears, acknowledge your worries, your sadness, and your anger. Acknowledge your feelings and share them with others, maybe your partner, a friend. And also speak to your children about the situation. Write down things that you're thankful for. So what are the things that you're grateful for today? Maybe the love of your children, maybe the sun that's shining. And if you're worried or you can't sleep, or if you feel like you're a bit negative, read those words again, the things you are grateful for. If you're really worried and you think you can't handle it by yourself, seek professional help. Social workers are still working. You can always call Marizo or your GP to speak about the worries. If possible, take some time for yourself every day. Half an hour to read, half an hour to lay in your bed, half an hour to exercise by yourself, while someone else is taking care of the household. Try meditation if you can't sleep. You can download an app on your phone, or you can look it up on the internet. On YouTube, there's many videos about meditation. If you still can't sleep, maybe read the things you wrote down that you're grateful for. If you cannot sleep for more than a few days and you really get very, very tired, ask and seek for professional help.
Well, fellow Mantelzorgers, I hope most of our questions are answered by Markant. If you need any more information or you have some questions that were not answered, don't hesitate to call Markant for more information on the contacts that were given. This is Veronica van der Kamp, your Mantelzorger ambassador. Please stay safe. We are in this together.